Dragon Ball Z The Frieza Saga continues off where the previous saga leaves off, with Goku, Krillin, and Gohan and Yajirobe claiming victory over Vegeta. And when they find out that the Namekian Dragon Balls can also help bring back their fallen comrades, they set off on a quest to planet Namek in order to find the 7 balls of that world and bring their friends back. Along the way, they come across a plethora of old and new villains, and one of them happens to be the strongest in all the universe, and Goku must head on to Namek by himself as fast as he can in order to save his friends and bring back his fallen comrades. Now, if you guys know me for quite a while, you would know that I absolutely love this saga, and I talked about this before, and in a MomoCon interview I took a few months ago during this year's convention, where I talked about how much this saga really meant to me as a kid, really, and how it was my gateway truly into anime. Like, I've seen a couple of stuff from anime before, like Sailor Moon, because my sister really liked that. But what really got me into anime was watching the Frieza saga of Dragon Ball Z, especially in Kai. That was my first introduction to all of Dragon Ball, as far as I could remember. Seeing Frieza's first introduction and him terrorizing the Namekian village while Krillin and Gohan are holding themselves back to not get caught, but eventually rising up to the challenge to try and save at least one of the Namekians. That was a really good moment for me, and that was ingrained in my memory throughout my entire life. And so, after all these years later, I came back to it a couple years ago to try and rewatch all of Dragon Ball Z, the show that got me into anime. And I did a review of this saga in seasonal form in terms of its Blu-ray discs and how they were made back in my main channel. And I said that I really liked this saga, especially the last half. And reading the manga too, I still think this saga still slaps. I also watched the Kai version just to get a whole idea of how this saga played out in various forms of media. And overall, my general thoughts are that this is by far the most compelling saga story-wise in Dragon Ball Z. This saga was what really catapulted this show into what it is today. I mean, the Saiyan saga is absolutely fantastic, but this saga is what introduced so many main staples of Dragon Ball that we know and love to this day. And it's widely regarded by many fans, including myself, to be one of the, if not the best saga of all Dragon Ball. And the main reason being is that this saga is probably one of the most conclusive sagas in all of Dragon Ball. Watching from the beginnings of the original Dragon Ball show to this point on in the series, it felt like this could have been the natural conclusion to Goku's arc and character development, and bringing the whole series into a nice bookend. And while I disagree with that notion, it's hard to not understand why. Because we've been building up Goku's origins and mystery for a long time in the manga, in the show, and this saga brings that to the forefront most of all, with Vegeta being less of a villain here and more of an anti-hero, anti-villain of sorts, teaming up with the heroes only for his own gain, but he is also there to serve the purpose of exploring more of the Saiyan background, more about who the Saiyans were, and why they have such a hatred against the mighty tyrant Frieza. We also have Bulma joining in the group with Krillin and Gohan, and she serves as sort of a mother figure role, though she is more so sidelined during the last half of this saga, but she is still a fun character to be around. It is also a really fun saga in its first half. Once the characters make it to Namek, and in the show passing all that filler stuff where they go to a fake Namek, then get captured by a bunch of kids who were fleeing from Frieza, which showcases just how formidable and widespread of a threat he is. Once they reach the planet, it becomes a game of hot potato, where one group of characters get the balls, and another group of characters also get the balls, then Vegeta gets the balls, then Mechans, and then Frieza's army, and you're just wondering who's going to be able to collect all the balls first and summon the dragon before anyone else can make their wish. And so there's a lot of rising tension between that, especially when you throw in alien godlike creatures that our characters have never faced before. With the likes of Zarbon, Dodoria, and the Ginyu Force, they posed very formidable threats to our heroes and Vegeta, to the point where, as I said, Vegeta had to team up with Gohan and Krillin in order to have some sort of chance to live, in order to retrieve his wish of immortality. And while the reasonings for Vegeta's wish is definitely selfish and you don't want him to get that wish, when you start to really understand and learn more about Vegeta's background and why he really wants that wish, it's hard to not sympathize with him in some way, especially when he unloads all of his trauma onto Goku once he eventually does arrive to planet Namek and explain his entire backstory and how Frieza was the one responsible for killing Goku's parents and his entire race by destroying the home planet he grew up on. In the anime, we also get a quick flashback to the Bardock special, in which Frieza blows up all of planet Vegeta and kills Bardock in the process as he's trying to defend his home planet. And is where in the anime Frieza recognizes Goku as the son of Bardock. So in a way, Frieza and Goku, at least in the anime, were always really meant to really link to each other. It was a slow build up to that. Goku still doesn't really care about his past to that kind of level to where it defines who he is now. He is who he is because of the friends he made, and because he is who he is because of the friends he has made in his life, throughout all the challenges he's gone through, and the values he holds from his grandfather Gohan. It is what makes Goku the lovable person that we all know and love him to be, which contrasts against Frieza's cold, ruthless, and evil nature. As Totally Not Mark, I definitely recommend going to check out his channel at some point. He says that Goku is a plain hero, like plain good, no evil can like corrupt him, but no good can corrupt Frieza. They are flat good, flat evil characters that really contrast well with one another. The show and manga also builds up the legend of a Super Saiyan. This is a being of such importance and strength that it could only appear in over 1,000 years. At least that's what Vegeta says. And everyone around Vegeta only thinks of it as a legend, like nothing that is real, like they don't take it seriously. And there are hints, if you don't know about the Super Saiyan legend in Dragon Ball, there are hints to Vegeta or Goku possibly being strong enough to call themselves the Super Saiyan. But you're not sure about that, because with each formidable foe they face, they get stronger every time they almost die. And you are unsure if what Vegeta is saying is true, if he has truly become a Super Saiyan. Even when he and the rest of the Z Fighters are facing off against Frieza in his first, second, and third and final forms, it is unsure what's going to really happen. Is Vegeta truly going to be able to defeat Frieza? In that whole segment in which Frieza is tormenting our characters, including Piccolo, who is summoned by the dragon right before he passes away. You are unsure what's going to happen now because Frieza, in his own words, wants to torment his victims as much as possible. He wants them to know true fear. And so this kind of transformation is not done as like a first time reveal, like a big reveal. I mean, it is a big reveal, but it is to show just how formidable Frieza is and how much of a threat he truly poses. He even copyrights Alien at one point and becomes the Xenomorph from that series. And then we get on to his final form, in which he uses that to kill Vegeta, which then sets up the final conflict between Goku and Frieza. And this conflict, when it first starts, is really unsure, really. Like, you don't know if Goku is really gonna one up against Frieza at some point, because there are many points in the battle where Frieza is pummeling Goku to the ground, and the animation is great, the fight choreography is amazing, but Frieza is definitely showcasing his formidable strength to his opponent here. But Goku always is able to one-up him with a bunch of new and weird attacks that he's never heard of, to the point where even he is surprised that Saiyan like him can make him feel literal pain in his hands. And when Goku was able to go Kaioken times 20 against Frieza, and even that only leaves a scratch that only angers him more, that's when you realize Goku and his friends have been fucked the whole time. Frieza was truly not playing around throughout the entire fight between Gohan and everyone else. They are literally fucked. And so at this point, Frieza is just pummeling Goku to the ground. He is at the end of his ropes, and the last thing that he could think of is using a spirit bomb so big that it can destroy an entire quarter of a planet. And he needs enough time to charge that much energy up. And so, like throughout the rest of the fight, Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin join in on the fight and tries to give Goku enough time to charge up his energy. And once he's able to throw that spirit bomb at Frieza and everything seems to be all well and good, it doesn't work. And Frieza comes back to life, shoots down Piccolo, lifts up Krillin, blows him up, and that is the perfect setup to one of the best transformations in all of anime. Goku going Super Saiyan for the first time is a moment that I will never forget. Seeing that hair glow up with the fantastic Bruce Faulkner score playing in the background as he is roaring in anger and suddenly transforms, it is just perfect. I love the moment in the manga too, where it's just like something snapped inside of Goku's head, and that's when he transforms. It's so subtle, yet so effective as well. Akira Toriyama did a fantastic job at building up this transformation. In the manga, Piccolo actually was supposed to be the one that Frieza is aiming for, and that's when he falls on Goku. It's like a slow realization that Goku is unable to stop everyone around him from dying, and it is really tragic, yet so cathartic when he's able to reach the legendary status that almost nobody in this entire show believed in. And that's when the rest of the Goku and Frieza fight becomes even more intense, as Goku pummels Frieza and showcases the power of a true Saiyan warrior against him. And that's where we get his famous speech where he claims to be the hope of the universe and how he's going to be the one who is going to stop Frieza. Unfortunately, Frieza decides to try and blow up the planet in order to have some sort of a chance against Goku. If he's not able to beat him himself, it will be the planet's destruction that will help him win. And so he is cheating in a way. But Goku doesn't care about cheating or playing fair anymore. He just wants revenge and wants Frieza dead. The rest of the fight is nothing like any fights before. Not even to the levels of the Goku and Vegeta fight in the Saiyan Saga. This is a true battle for survival for the fate of the entire universe here. And in the backgrounds of an exploding planet and lava shooting from the ground as Frieza and Goku fight, it is one of the coolest battle sequences visually I have seen ever. And it's hard to top in many regards in my opinion. This is also where Goku and King Kai telepathically talk to each other, trying to figure out a way to bring back the dragon and wish everyone back to Earth. King Kai is telepathically talking to Mr. Popo as he's gathering the balls on Earth now that Piccolo is still alive. He is shot down, but he's still breathing. So as long as he is alive, they have a chance to gather the balls on Earth, wish back everyone on Namek, and that is when Dende is able to make the wish of bringing everyone on Namek who is brought back to life by the Earth Dragon Balls back to Earth. So Frieza and Goku are trying to fight each other, but Frieza sees the dragon. He immediately tries to fly to it to get his wish. Vegeta sees it too. Dende is the one that's able to make the wish, and everyone goes back. And now the battle of planet Namek is just two beings left alone on the planet. And man, this fight sequence is great. Especially seeing Frieza powered down and losing his stamina against Goku to the point where he cuts himself in half. And that was so cathartic to see a mighty tyrant fall down like that. He was even bitch slapped at one point in the battle. It gets really embarrassing for Frieza to the point where Goku shows him mercy and gives him energy after Frieza is forced to beg for his life, which then fucks up his mind. He goes crazy and tries to one-shot Goku as he's flying away from the battle, but Goku deflects that blast back at Frieza, destroying him in the process. But unfortunately, Goku wasn't fast enough to escape the exploding planet. And so now everyone thinks Goku is dead, and they must wait a few more months in order to collect all the Dragon Balls once again to bring back their fallen comrades. They try to bring Goku back, but he is still alive. He just doesn't want to be wished all the way to Earth yet. And so they bring back their fallen comrades and all their friends that died on Earth, and now everyone is just waiting for Goku. And that is where our story ends. This saga is incredible. The anime has a bit of padding, and the filler stuff can be a bit of a drag. I mean, the filler here is not the best, really. It's probably the worst filler in any Dragon Ball anime. I mean, Bulma being a frog and chasing after the Dragon Balls for a couple of episodes. I mean, it gets boring there. And the two filler sagas before they arrive on Namek was kind of pointless. But all in all, the manga, Kai, and still in the original Z animation, I still found this saga to be incredibly fun, cathartic in terms of concluding Goku's character arc and bringing our characters full circle at this point in time in the story, pushing the story of Gohan becoming the strongest being in the universe towards the Cell Saga. I think that was perfectly set up when Gohan was able to go up against Frieza, even in its final form. This saga had everything for me. The Ginyu stuff was also really fun. They were a fun bunch of villains I really enjoyed watching, especially seeing Raccoon just plummet Vegeta and everyone around. They showcase a lot of fun, but a lot of versatile strength and terror as well. And the Super Saiyan's transformation and seeing Goku Super Saiyan form go up against Frieza's 100% final form was such a cathartic battle for me to see. Even in the original Z animation where it's like 6 hours long, I still found that entire segment of the battle to be extremely entertaining and really fun to watch. I highly recommend this saga. It is a fantastic endpoint for Goku's character and the start of a new beginning that will bring all of our characters full circle in the next few sagas. I'm going to give the Frieza Saga of Dragon Ball Z an A+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.